Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, astronaut Gene Cernan has gone west. Santa Monica anti-airport protesters threaten aviation businesses. Lilly Drones has folded its business. Hello, I'm Laura Hudson. It's January 17th, and this is Airborne Unlimited. When Neil Armstrong took his first step on the surface of the moon in July of 1969, everyone in America knew that the exploration of outer space had begun, and it would only grow in the future. However, that turned out not to be the case. December of 1972 marked the last manned flight to the moon, and the last American on the moon when Apollo 17 commander Gene Cernan stepped out of the Challenger lunar module. He was followed by lunar module pilot Jack Schmitt. Because Cernan was the commander of the mission, he was the last to return to the lander, and so became the last man to walk on the moon. Now we're sorry to report that according to a tweet from NASA, Apollo 17 commander Gene Cernan passed away on Monday at the age of 82. Captain Cernan was one of the 14 astronauts selected by NASA in October 1963. He logged 566 hours and 15 minutes in space, of which more than 73 hours were spent on the surface of the moon. It's reported that Cernan's flight to the moon was the most scientifically rewarding of all the lunar flights. When speaking of all the crazy happenings going on at Santa Monica Airport in California, it leads us to paraphrase a statement from Shakespeare's Hamlet, which goes something like this: "The protesters doth protest too much, methinks." In modern English, we might say the protesters are making fools of themselves. Though quite disorganized and fighting amongst themselves in a publicly way, the protesters vow that a February 4th protest targeting the airport business, Atlantic Aviation, will take place. Using faulty rhetoric and some twisted facts, what has been determined to be a vocal minority of the Santa Monica community is planning to disrupt airport operations by occupying the right-of-way near the largest airport fixed base operations and targeting both the operation and its clientele. In the meantime, some anti-airport foes are accusing others of hijacking their efforts to protest the airport operations, and there seems to be little love lost amongst the anti-aero zealots. Pro-airport parties, businesses, and pilots hope that whatever protests may occur will be operated in accordance with the law, not disturb the legal rights of airport operators and users, and be nonviolent. After the break, competition in the drone business can be fierce.
The Bristell Light Sport aircraft is what you are looking for. The Bristell is wider than a Cirrus, faster than a Skyhawk, offers more storage than a Husky, and comes standard with Garmin avionics. So what are you waiting for? Visit Bristell.com to find out how you can get into a Bristell today.
Since the early days of powered flight, pilots have struggled with landing in crosswinds. In fact, crosswinds and wind gusts cause more landing accidents than fog, thunderstorms, and icing combined. That's where the Redbird X-Wind SE comes in. By placing pilots in gusty crosswind conditions for extended periods of time, the X-Wind SE gives instructors all the time they need to teach the pilot the proper techniques for landing in crosswind conditions. For more information on Redbird X-Wind SE and Redbird's entire line of flight training devices, visit www.redbirdflightsimulation.com.
Explore No Limits Flying in the FAA-certified Sea Ray Amphibious LSA, one of the top 3 best-selling LSAs in the U.S. Progressive Aerodyne Sea Ray comes equipped with a Rotax engine and exhibits extraordinary handling on land, water, and in the air. Check it out at www.searay.com.
Welcome back. If you would like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. The Lilly throw-and-shoot flying camera drone has been permanently grounded. The founders of the company announced that the company would be ceasing operations and refunds will be offered to those who had pre-ordered the drone. Antoine Ballaresque and Henry Bradlow sent an email announcing the decision to his customers, which was provided to ANN. According to the email, it appears that the Lilly family have been making steady progress with the development of the product, but have been unable to secure financing, allowing it to be put into production. The email states, "As a result, we are deeply saddened to say that we are planning to wind down the company and offer refunds to customers. Refunds are expected to be distributed within the next 60 days. The email offers thanks to all who have been involved in this project." Every Tuesday, we're going to look ahead at some of the more interesting events in the aviation universe. Here's this week's Aero Calendar. Our first event today starts off in Beverly Hills, California, which is not exactly renowned for holding air shows. However, it is the location of the 14th Annual Living Legends of Aviation Awards, being held on January 20th. John Travolta, the official ambassador of aviation, is the event host. The Living Legends of Aviation are admirable people of remarkable accomplishment in aviation, including entrepreneurs, innovators, industry leaders, record breakers, astronauts, pilots who have become celebrities, and celebrities who have become pilots. The really big air event of the month is the U.S. Sport Aviation Expo, being held January 25th through January 28th in Sebring, Florida. This 13th annual sport aviation show features sport aircraft and includes conventional aircraft, kit planes, powered parachutes, trikes, gyros, amphibians, drones, and innovative designs such as electronically powered aircraft. Over 150 aircraft on display. You can try, fly, and buy at this event. You'll be hearing more about this because the A&N crew will be there to cover all the action. This next event is unusual because it's a lecture about air race engines being held at the Historic Flight Foundation in Washington on January 18th. You'll learn more about the development of aircraft engines that set air race records. Barry Latter explores the technical variables affecting engine output and the risks taken by extraordinary people to provide excitement for Depression-era crowds. After these messages, Duncan Aviation updates their ADS-B Straight Talk book.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
The dream is real, a truly affordable personal jet aircraft. The Subsonics Personal Jet Kit is priced at only $42,000. Kit plus engine is still under $100K. Add instruments, upholstery, and paint and you're flying. It's time to put your money where your bucket list is. Learn more at SonicsAircraft.com.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, Bree Cross is going to summarize some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch.
Thanks, Laura. Duncan Aviation led the field by providing ADS-B information through its book titled Straight Talk, which provides valuable information for complying with the 2020 ADS-B mandate. Now Duncan has updated their ADS-B Straight Talk, and it's available for free download from their website. Aviation unions in the U.S. have filed a petition in the District of Columbia Circuit Court to overturn the Obama administration's decision to permit Norwegian Air International to operate to and from the U.S. They claim Norwegian Air labor practices undermine U.S. labor standards. The Drone Advisory Committee is made up of drone industry and stakeholders in the drone business and was formed by the FAA as a federal advisory committee last year. The committee is set to hold their second organizational meeting on January 31st. The Kinetic Company has placed an order with Pilatus for 2 PC-21 aircraft for use in their Empire Test Pilot School aircraft fleet. Students flying the PC-21 will be taught flight test techniques by test pilot school instructors. A DJI Inspire 1 drone impacted the uppermost platform of the Seattle Space Needle on New Year's Eve. The operator of the drone has not been identified, and police say they do not yet know if charges will be filed. Well, that's the trip around the patch. Back to you, Laura.
Thanks, Bree. ANN has learned that William F. Bill Bordelot has gone west. The Wisconsin Aviation Hall of Fame inductee passed away January 8th at the age of 84. Bordelot was the owner of Continental Airshow Productions for 47 years and a founding member of the International Council of Airshows. He is seen as having been instrumental in building the airshow industry into what we know today. Described by the Wisconsin Aviation Hall of Fame as the most familiar voice in American airshow history, Bordelot started as an airshow comedian, skydiver, and pilot, but found his home behind the microphone. Information from the Hall of Fame reads, from the first day he announced an airshow in Platteville, Wisconsin in 1969 to his work as the voice of the Experimental Aircraft Association for 3 decades. The name Bordelot and airshows have become inseparable. It's reported that a celebration of his life will be held this spring at the EAA Museum in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. We at ANN offers our sincere condolences to the Bordelot family. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily, Monday through Friday, with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, and do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories, anytime at aero-news.net. See you tomorrow.